brought to you by Thomas Allgaier and Frennis. This edition highlights key LinkedIn posts on social selling in weeks 3 and 4. Frennis supports enterprises with enablement and insights, providing data-driven sales intelligence, flexible support, team augmentation, and data quality improvements, so social engagement turns into measurable pipeline.
And welcome to the deep dive. We are focusing on weeks 3 and 4 of 2026. And if you've been anywhere near LinkedIn lately, you've probably felt it.
Oh yeah, the ground is definitely shifting.
It really is.
For the longest time, B2B marketing felt like this game of cat and mouse with the algorithm, right? We were always looking for the cheat codes. But looking at the data from the last couple of weeks, it feels like we're finally moving out of that gaming the system phase.
Right.
And into something, I don't know, harder, but maybe more substantial. It's less about tricking an algorithm and more about, earning the right to sell.
Precisely. And that's really our mission for this deep dive. We're looking at the top social selling trends that have surfaced, and we've kind of clustered these insights into 3 critical themes that every strategic marketer needs to know.
Okay, let's unpack this. What are the 3 big buckets we're looking at?
First, we have to talk about platform and algorithm dynamics. Specifically, this new update everyone's whispering about, 360 Brew.
360 Brew, okay.
Second is content strategy and engagement. Basically why everyone is suddenly obsessed with savable content instead of just, likable content.
Interesting.
And finally, social selling and revenue enablement. So how do you actually close deals in this new environment without being annoying?
Without being annoying. I think that's the key phrase right there. But let's start with the big one. Theme 1.
Let's do it.
360 Brew. It sounds like a hip coffee shop, but apparently it's changing everything.
It really is.
Yeah.
I mean, to understand 360 Brew, you have to get this fundamental shift. Richard Bliss put this really well recently.
Oh, yeah.
He said the algorithm has effectively stopped just counting signals.
Counting. You mean like likes and shares?
Exactly. Likes, shares, all that. It started reading context.
Wait, you're saying it's actually reading the posts? Like it understands the pros?
That's it. It's an AI model that understands semantic context, which, as Bliss points out, is a total nightmare for engagement pods or people posting empty comments.
Right. The great post comments.
So if the AI reads your comment and sees it as 0 value, it doesn't count.
Yeah.
It's like the machine finally developed a BS detector.
That's fascinating. So the machine knows when we're faking it.
That's the gist.
Yeah.
Alex Calhoun, he broke down the distribution logic. He says 360 Brew works on 3 levels.
Okay.
First, relevance scoring based on your history. No surprise there.
Side stuff.
But second, and this is the cool part, it acts as a live prompt to predict interaction. It's asking itself, will this specific person actually care about this?
Wow.
And third, it reads the content for what he calls value alignment.
It's like the algorithm became a discerning editor instead of a calculator. So if it's reading us, what does that mean for me, the average user? What do I do differently?
You have to stop being lazy.
Yeah.
James Keel had a great take on this. He warns against what he calls weenie comments.
Weenie comments.
You know the ones. Great post. Thanks for sharing.
Agree.
Yes. Those are dead in the water. Keel says comments need to be meaningful. He suggests, 15 words or more.
15 words, that's a specific number.
It is. But the point is, you are literally training 360 Brew on your expertise with every comment. You write smart things, the AI starts to categorize you as a smart, valuable person.
So quality over quantity is finally not just a cliche, it's literally the code. That 15-word benchmark is a really useful takeaway. What about all the other stuff? Hashtags, timing, everything we used to stress about?
Gone. Roger Baszler-Jarocko was very clear on this.
Yeah.
Hashtags, no influence on reach anymore.
None.
And there is no perfect time to post. The algorithm is not looking at the clock.
Yeah.
It's looking for authentic stories and dwell time. It rewards you for keeping people reading.
I love that. It feels liberating, honestly. But there's a dark side, right? I saw some chatter about automation bans.
Oh, absolutely. Richie Pedar raised a huge red flag here. He said bans are now based on automation fingerprints.
Fingerprints?
Yeah, and behavior, not just the content. The system looks for non-human patterns, like weird logins.
What's a weird...
Your virtual assistant logs in from another country 5 minutes after you did. Or you go on an aggressive connecting spree, 50 invites in 10 minutes. Humans just don't do that. It triggers flags instantly.
So the takeaway for theme 1 is pretty stark. Be human.
Be human or get invisible. Pretty much.
Which leads us perfectly into theme 2 then, content strategy. If we can't hack the algorithm with bots and hashtags, what on earth are we supposed to post?
Well, if you want reach, the metric of the moment, it isn't likes, it's saves.
Saves. That's interesting. Likes give you that instant dopamine hit, but saves are quiet.
They're quiet, but they are so powerful. Stefan Wetzel highlighted this. Saving is the strongest interaction signal because it tells the algorithm this has long-term value.
Okay, that makes sense. Someone is saying, I need to come back to this.
Exactly. So what kind of content gets saved?
Yeah, I'm not saving a selfie of someone's lunch.
Right. Wetzel advises creating things like checklists, PDF carousels, evergreen implementation tips. You want to create resources, not just updates.
Think utility.
Okay, but checklists, they can sound a little dry. How do we keep people reading long enough to even hit save?
That's where psychology comes in. Jesse Chan outlines some brilliant principles that tap into how our brains work. For instance, the negativity bias.
Oh, I know this one. We're wired to avoid pain more than we seek gain.
Precisely. Chan points out that a headline like 5 mistakes killing your growth will always beat 5 tips to grow. We are terrified of making mistakes.
LT?
He also mentions the Zeigarnik effect.
The what effect? The Zeigarnik effect. It's our psychological need for closure. If you create open loops or cliffhangers in your writing, people feel a compulsion to finish reading. It spikes dwell time.
And what else?
And then there's a curiosity gap. You bridge the space between what they know and what they want to know.
So we need to be useful enough to be saved, but psychologically engaging enough to be read.
What about tone? Do we have to sound like a corporate robot?
Actually, it's the opposite. The key is to be niche. Bianca Kulvitz argues niche authority is the biggest lever you have.
Yeah.
Be the unshakable expert on one thing, not a generalist.
That is so hard for marketers. We feel like we have to wear 20 hats.
It is hard, but it's necessary. Kulvitz also made this great prediction. She says the comment section is becoming the second feed.
The second feed.
Yeah, the real value often lives in the discussion below the post.
That ties right back to what you said about the AI reading the comments.
Exactly. And Sasha Sikka adds another layer. He says the first hour after you post is critical.
The golden hour. Kind of. If you aren't there to discuss, your post dies.
Yeah.
He claims 15 real comments like actual discussion beats, 25 likes any day of the week.
It sounds like we have to stop treating LinkedIn like a billboard where we just paste an ad and walk away.
Right.
And start treating it more like a conference room where you have to stick around and chat.
That's the perfect analogy. Paulina Stricker notes that the algorithm actively punishes generic Monday motivation or obvious ChatGPT stuff. It wants unique perspectives. And if you're not in the room to discuss your perspective, why should it care?
Okay, so we're being human, we're engaging, we're writing savable stuff, but let's be real, we're here to do business. Let's get to theme 3.
Let's do it.
Social selling and revenue enablement. How do we turn all these comments and checklists into, well, money?
By not selling.
The paradox of sales.
At least not immediately. It is. Dennis Brown had this hilarious, if a little provocative way of putting it. He said, LinkedIn is not Tinder. Stop trying to get to second base on the first date.
That is a vivid image, but he's not wrong. My DMs are just full of pitch slaps.
We all get them, and they don't work. Sissy Zhao emphasizes this too. She says, stop cold messaging entirely. Sales start with presence likes, comments before the DM.
You have to be a familiar face first.
A familiar, non-threatening face, yes.
So how do we structure that outreach? If I can't just blast out a template, what do I actually do?
I need a system. Richard Vanderbloom shared a 10-point checklist that's really solid. It includes things like a 3+1 posting rhythm, 3 insights for every 1 credibility post. But the really interesting part was about booking micro calls.
Micro calls? What, like 5 minutes?
10 minutes. Instead of asking for a full hour demo that no one has time for, you ask for 10 minutes. It just lowers the barrier to entry so much.
That's smart.
And when you do reach out, Morgan J. Ingram suggests his observation outbound formula.
Okay, walk me through that. What does that sound like in practice?
It's a 5-step sequence: observation, context, pain point, value prop, and then the CTA. So instead of, hey, buy my software, it's more like,
Go on.
I observed you just hired 5 new reps. That's the observation. Usually, scaling a team that fast creates chaos in data quality context.
I feel seen already.
Right. Then, I imagine you're worried about them wasting time on bad leads. Pain point. We helped company X solve this. Value prop. Worth a 10-minute chat to see how. That's the CTA.
That is radically different. It proves you've done your homework before you ask for anything.
It does. But, I mean, that's the job now. It requires actual research.
This all sounds like it requires some serious alignment between sales and marketing. Marketing provides the air cover, sales does the sniper work.
Absolutely. David Walsh talks about moving from vanity metrics to buying behavior. It's not about views. It's about tracking if employees from your target accounts are viewing those posts.
That is a huge shift in mindset. You're looking for account penetration, not just applause.
Exactly. And Gus Eady suggests using Sales Navigator intent filters. Brand familiarity creates the signal. Sales then acts on that signal. They're not creating it from scratch in a cold DM.
One thing we haven't touched on is scale. This all sounds very high touch. How do you scale this?
You use your team. Employee advocacy. Tim Heffley dropped a crazy stat.
What's that?
He notes that employee posts can increase company page reach by 561%.
561%? That's a massive number.
It's a trusted network effect. But getting employees to post is like pulling teeth.
Tell me about it.
Well, Cara Redmond adds the crucial bit of advice. Don't script them. So many companies write posts and just say, please copy-paste this. That fails the 360 brew authenticity test we talked about.
Right.
You have to give them autonomy. Incentivize them, sure, but let them be themselves. Authenticity beats a corporate template every single time.
Okay, so let's try and wrap this all up. If we're looking at this whole deep dive, it feels like 2026 is the year LinkedIn finally grew up.
I think that's a fair way to put it.
So to summarize weeks 3 and 4, the takeaway seems to be that 360 Brew demands you be human, relevant, and savable. Automation is out, observation and interaction are in, you can't fake it anymore.
No, you can't. The shortcut is officially dead.
So here's a thought that I've been mulling over as we've been talking.
Okay.
If the algorithm now reads context and it values comments almost as much as posts, are we approaching a time where not posting, but only commenting is a viable top-tier strategy?
That is a fascinating thought.
Yeah.
You're saying if you can build authority and train the AI just by being the smartest person in the comment section.
Yeah.
Maybe you never need to write your own post again. You just piggyback on the viral conversations of others.
It's a total efficiency play, something for all of you to think about. If you enjoyed this deep dive, new episodes drop every 2 weeks. Also check out our other editions on account-based marketing, field marketing, channel marketing, MarTech, go-to-market, and AI in B2B marketing.
Thanks for listening, and don't forget to subscribe.
See you in 2 weeks.